Bro, your parents aren't getting any younger, bro. Your parents aren't getting any younger. They're only getting older. Your parents are probably sick or getting sick or will be sick. And that's very dark and very scary to think about, you know? I'm 29. Both of my parents, thankfully, are somewhat healthy. You know, they're not, you know, terribly sick or anything. My dad has some health problems. My mom, she has some health problems. And I'm stuck at work, you know, and you're stuck at work too. You know, I made this channel to motivate you and motivate myself because our parents aren't getting any younger. You know, we want to retire our parents. We want to let our parents' last years of their lives be some of the greatest that they've ever had, all because of their children. Especially if you're like me, that comes from like an immigrant household. Like, dude, they literally sacrifice so much just to give us a better life, and we're out here working for somebody else. We're out here clocking in and out, working in 100-degree heat, sometimes working for people that we don't want to work for on somebody else's schedule. We don't want to do all that. So like, lock in. You know, my mom calls me all the time. She's been at her job for 20 years, over 20 years, since I was like 5 years old. I'm 29. She's been at her job for over 20 years, and that job has done nothing but treat her like shit. And I'm out here thinking that my regular 9-to-5 is gonna give her the life that she deserves. Honestly, I don't think so. I honestly don't think that's true. I don't think that no matter how high I climb on the corporate ladder, that I can give my mom and my dad the life that they deserve. I don't think that. And I don't think you should be thinking like that either. You know? I'm fucking stuck in this, you know, I'm very thankful for this car, but I'm stuck in this bucket, dude. It has no fucking AC. It has no AC, and I'm sweating my balls off. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I'm driving back to the job. I'm on my lunch break right now. I'm driving back to my job after I just ate and everything. But I said, fuck it, like, let me record a video, because if this is not going to be something that gets me out of the 95, like, I don't know what will be. My bad. I fucking subscribe though. My radio went off. But don't forget about your parents. You know, a lot of the times we think about the stuff that we want. You know, we want a bigger house. We want a nice car. And don't get me wrong, I want that. As soon as I make it, like, I'm buying a car with the AC working, like, I don't care. And I'm not just gonna settle for like something like real basic or something nice, even though I would be thankful for that. But I just feel I've gone through so much in my life. My family's gone through so much in my life that they and I deserve way better. And like I said, like, if you're out here doing it just for yourself and stuff, and you know, just remember your parents. Remember your parents. Remember that they did everything that you got to this point for you, you know. And I'm not sure if you guys are religious or anything, but the Bible says to honor your parents, you know. And I don't think, and God forbid, like, if my mom calls me right now and, you know, she tells me something's happening, or something, you know, whatever, she's getting sick or something, I can't guarantee that my job's gonna let me go see her, or on top of that, they're gonna let me miss enough work without firing me, you know. And think about that. Think about how we rely on one job, one source of income. Something happens to our family, we think about things that can happen to ourselves. What if something happens to your mother, if something happens to your father tomorrow? And you got to take care of them, you got to take a leave, and, you know, yada yada. And I understand that there's laws and stuff in place to, like, protect you from that, but why you got to do that? You know, like, build something, create something that's gonna create for others. You know, one of my favorite things to say is that if you have a kid, if you have a son, a daughter, whatever, you can't give them your job. They can't inherit your job. You know, they can inherit your business. They can inherit your YouTube channel. They can inherit your you know, your assets. They can inherit all that stuff. One thing they can't inherit is a job, though. They can't inherit that. You know, you climb the corporate ladder and you get to a manager position, or you get to whatever, regional vice president, this and that, whatever. After 20 years of being with your company, if you want to leave it, or if you want to, you know, pursue something else, you can't say like, oh, let me give this job to my kid, or let me give this job to my brother, or to somebody. You can't do that. You know? And it's like, let's remember our parents. Let's remember what they did for us, why they went through the things that they went through to give us the life that we deserve up until this point. And let's keep on climbing. Let's keep on going. Let's keep on doing it. That's why I'm doing it, because I'm tired of this. I'm freaking hot, sweating right now because my AC don't work. I'm driving back to a job that I don't like, I hate. You know, just to get, you know, bitched at or whatever by your manager, by coworkers, by this and that, by customers. You know, and I don't have an issue with any of that, unless it's something that I built. You know, I don't care. I don't mind getting yelled at or whatever by customers, or nagged at by customers, so long as they're my customers. You know, it's my money. You know, whatever they pay is going into my pocket, not into the company's pocket and then trickling down to you eventually. You know, but our parents, man, they've sacrificed so much to give us what we want. They're getting older. They're not getting any younger. You know, their working days might be behind them. You know, when I'm off on Saturdays and I want to go visit my parents, and my mom tells me that my dad has gone to work because he needs extra money. Mind you, this man is in his 60s and he has been working landscaping for his whole entire life. He has been working landscaping for his entire life. And if you guys done landscaping or know somebody that's done landscaping, you know that it's not easy on your body. You know, it's tough on your body. You know, it's something that's going to take a toll on you, regardless if you're in your 20s, your 30s, 40s, doesn't matter. Like, it takes a toll on your body. And for this man to be doing it into his 60s, man, like, that doesn't sit well with me. I got to create something. You got to do something in order to get your parents out of that. You know, I don't know what your guys' situation is with your parents. You know, how long they can stay at their job for, if they're retired, or even if they retire and they have to get a job at Walmart because they still can't pay their bills. You know, let's remember our parents. Let's remember why we're doing this, and why you're starting your YouTube channel, why you're starting a business, why you're starting whatever you're starting. It's because of your parents, you know. And let's not get it twisted. Let's not forget why we're doing it, and let's keep on going, you know. I gotta clock back in my 9 to 5. I just started this job too. It's funny enough. I've only been here for like a month, but I'm already like tired of it, and I'm stuck in that cycle that you're probably into. It's literally starting a job, enjoying it, and then all of a sudden you remember why it's just a job and why the job posting was posted in the first place. You know, it ends up draining you. It ends up taking your time, taking your energy, you know, and that's why we got to basically move away from that, you know. Maybe you're watching this because you want to start a YouTube channel. Maybe you're trying to start a business, something, whatever it is. But whatever your reason is, you know, it doesn't matter. Do it for your parents. You know, your parents are relying on you. You know, if you have a wife, if you have kids, they're relying on you too. But, you know, this video is specifically targeted for people with parents, or even people that don't have parents, and maybe your parents didn't live long enough to see you give them the life that they want, but they're still watching you. You know. You know, it pains me when my mom tells me that she's hurt, she's tired, she can't go anymore, she says. And my dad, you know, my dad won't say it. But I know he's feeling it. I know he's feeling it. He won't say it. You know, he won't say it, but I know that he needs a break. I know that he needs somebody to come in and at least support him. You know, And that's where I'm going to cut the video. But don't forget to honor your parents, you know. Like, do whatever you got to do to honor your parents, you know. And if a 9 to 5 is for you, it's for you, you know. There's no changing that. But if you want to build that business, you want to start that YouTube channel because you want to make passive income, or you want to make income beyond what you thought was imaginable, keep on going. That's why I'm going to cut the video. I got to clock back in a little bit, and I'll see you guys later.